That sort of seems like overkill.
What is up, comic comrades? There is a new episode of Marvel's What If, and we are here to tell you all about the little cameos and Easter eggs you need to know. Stay tuned till the end of the video and don't forget to click that like button, subscribe, and check that notification bell. When you watch Marvel's What If on Disney Plus's website, you will see all episodes have a title like What If Captain Carter were the first Avenger, and What If Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands. But this week's episode is simply What If Zombies. Right from the title, Marvel shows you you're in for a treat. Episode 5 of the animated series is an extremely fun half hour of television, and is also likely to be a really good time for readers of the Marvel zombie comics. This installment is filled with both funny and shocking moments, using classic zombie tropes to see some of the best and most underrated characters surviving while keeping a frantic pace, as it throws one terrible scenario after another. In the comics, the undead heroes were the result of a plague known as the Hunger that infested the superheroes of that universe. They soon ate most of their Earth's populace in an excellent 2005 miniseries written by The Walking Dead co-creator Robert Kirkman and drawn by Sean Phillips. It was quite a dark story, but seeing zombified versions of iconic characters cruelly feasting on everybody around them proved to be quite fun. The comic produced plenty of sequels, threequels, and spin-offs, so there is a lot for you to check if the idea thrills you. To fully understand the episode, it really helps to have seen all the Marvel Cinematic Universe films leading up to Avengers Infinity War. But maybe Spider-Man Homecoming, Black Panther, and the first two Ant-Man films are the most vital rewatches. There are also a fair amount of gut punches for any WandaVision fans in the building, and that should be everybody. So, let's break down that plot. Bruce Banner in Hulk form returns to Earth via the Bifrost just as he did at the start of Avengers Infinity War. He unsuccessfully attempts to turn back into the Hulk when Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian land on the streets in search of the Time Stone. Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong attack and eat Thanos' goons in an ambush. At first, Banner is overjoyed at the sight of his friends, but this feeling is short-lived as he realizes that all 5 of them had been turned into zombies. They are thankfully killed by Hope Van Dyne and her swarm of ants, while Peter Parker saves Banner and shares some useful exposition. 2 weeks earlier, Hank Pym journeyed into the quantum realm as we saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp, to rescue his wife Janet Van Dyne after 30 years apart, but she had been infected by a quantum virus which turned her into a zombie. Hank was immediately infected and the contagion later spread to the entire Pacific Northwest within hours. The Avengers came to the rescue but were quickly overwhelmed and Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye and Iron Man were all zombified. Spider-Man leads Banner to the last of the still human Avengers, Bucky Barnes, Okoye and Sharon Carter. They are tracking a signal from Camp Lehigh from the Captain America movies that could offer an answer to the zombie infection. Alongside them are Happy Hogan with an Iron Man glove, and Kurt from the Ant-Man films who are vlogging survival videos from New York rooftops with Peter. Sharon confirms the code's coming from Camp Lehigh, and everybody goes to Grand Central Terminal. There, Kurt, Hope, Banner and Parker try to jumpstart a train, while Barnes, Okoye, Hogan and Carter are standing ground. Then a zombie Clint Burton shows up and infects Hogan with the virus, and Carter uses his own repulsor to kill him. Barnes and Okoye encounter a zombified version of Sam Wilson and kill him, slicing him in two. The rest manage to get the train going just as the horde of zombies start to close in. However, zombie Captain America catches the vehicle en route to New Jersey and infects Carter, forcing Barnes to meet and destroy what's left of his best friend. Van Dyne explodes Carter's body in a gruesome way, but realizes that she had been injured in the process. As the infection starts to spread through her body, Parker attempts to lift the group's morale, while Kurt informs everyone that the train has come to a dead stop right outside the former SHIELD base, where they encounter a zombie crowd. Van Dyne, knowing her time is coming, grows into a giant form to carry the rest through the horde, passing away soon after. The remaining survivors then stop as the zombies do not try to climb the fenced perimeter of the building. There they meet Vision, whose Mind Stone succeeds at keeping the undead at bay, as the infection is a severe neurological condition. Using the stone's powers, Vision was also able to cure Scott Lang of the disease, although only as a disembodied head. Banner suggests they use a satellite to transmit the stone's frequencies to cure everybody on Earth, which Okoye points out is only doable in Wakanda, as their force fields makes it the last human asylum in the world. Bucky searches the base for a possible transport, but only finds an infected Wanda Maximoff and a crippled but still alive T'Challa instead. The latter had been saved from San Francisco by Vision, only to realize that he would be eaten piece by Vision's zombie lover. Fans will notice T'Challa has a similar fate in the comics. The android claims that although he was not able to cure Maximoff's sickness due to her magical powers, he couldn't bring himself to kill her. Instead, he had been feeding people to her. Soon after that, Wanda, famished for food, awakens and kills Kurt. Vision helps the rest of the group escape, but Okoye is captured and killed by the Scarlet Witch. Vision points them to a hangar containing a quad jet, before tearing out his own Mind Stone as a way to make up for his transgression. The zombies begin to attack as Banner recovers Vision's crest containing the stone. Barnes remains behind to confront Maximoff, but is tossed aside as she tries to eat Banner, and then a last-second transformation by the Hulk saves him. He passes the stone to Peter and runs out into the zombie horde, fully transforming into the Hulk to buy his teammates extra time. We see the quad jet flying out of its hangar as the Hulk and Wanda fight. A zombified Hope Van Dyne catches them, but T'Challa manages to use the boosters to set them free. Parker, Lang, and T'Challa are humanity's last chance for success, as they head toward Wakanda to use the Mind Stone and save the world. Unbeknownst to them, a zombie Thanos already stands in the Golden City, awaiting them with 5 Infinity Stones in hand. Whew, that was a mouthful. There were so many amazing moments in this episode that it will probably require a rewatch or two to catch them all, but here are some worth mentioning. Who voices who? All of the actors from the movies return to voice their own characters, with the notable exception of Peter Parker. Tom Holland does not return to Spider-Man in Marvel's What If, with the actor not reprising his role for the Disney Plus animated series. The voice actor is actually Hudson Thames, playing the character for the first time. This could be for multiple reasons, the most likely one of which is contract issues between Marvel and Sony, given that Spider-Man is a Sony property that, due to agreements between the two companies, has been able to appear in films such as Endgame and Infinity War. The other is that Tom Holland is filming Spider-Man No Way Home, and that could have caused him to be unavailable for the show, given that the sequel is set to release this year. Typically, when an actor is unattainable to do their voice for their role, it is instead given to a voice actor who previously portrayed the character in other media, as was the case with Iron Man in Episode 3. However, Hudson Thames has never portrayed the Warcrawler before, so this hypothetically means that the American actor, who previously starred in Mad Men, I Think You Should Leave, and Malibu Country, could take on the role of Spider-Man in future projects. Also featured are Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, and Wanda Maximoff. However, the content in which they do show up didn't require any voice work, aside from zombie sounds. Here's a new one. Ben Parker is finally mentioned in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
My mom, dad, Uncle Ben, Mr. Stark. Now happy?
Episode 5 finally brings justice to Spider-Man's beloved Uncle Ben in the MCU. When Marvel Studios brought Spider-Man into their universe, they decided to skip Spider-Man's origin story. It was a smart call on Marvel's part, because they knew the audience was already familiar with it, having seen it adapted on the big screen twice before. What's more, as Marvel President Kevin Feige described, there was another benefit to this method. It gave the writers a lot of creative freedom, because they could add any detail in at a later point, if they ever wanted to do so. The pop culture savvy Peter Parker had grown up watching zombie movies, meaning he was perfectly prepared to survive. And in one scene, he mentions all those who he'd lost over the years. An orphan, Peter remembered his father and mother, and then immediately name-dropped Uncle Ben. The ache of that specific wound obviously ran deep into his core. And now, viewers finally have their first clear verification that the MCU's Peter Parker was greatly affected by the loss of Uncle Ben. The emotional wounds caused by his death ran so deep they continued even in a zombie apocalypse. Yep, it's nice to see the MCU finally acknowledging Uncle Ben's impact on his nephew's life. With any luck, this will only be the first step, and Spider-Man No Way Home will mention him in the main timeline as well. After all, Peter Parker is being taken to court after his secret identity has been revealed to the world, so it would be the perfect opportunity for Marvel to spell out Spider-Man's origin story, and he is definitely meeting with other Spider-Man who had their Uncle Bens on screen. So there you have it, everything you need to know about Marvel's What If Zombies. Share your brains with us in the comments below. Did you like the episode and all the delicious feasts it delivered? Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Till then, peace out!